No problem. Hi, everybody. This is Elizabeth Wallace with PixelatedGeek.com, and we're on the floor of San Diego Comic-Con 2016 talking with John Warden of Hasbro to talk about the Transformers Generation toy line. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I love this event. Coming to San Diego for Comic-Con is like one of the big highlights of my year because you're surrounded by so many like-minded people that just appreciate not just Transformers but all sorts of cool pop culture stuff. So this is great. It's fun.
So you are part of the design team for the Generations toy line, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a design manager. I lead the Transformers Generations business, but I also work on Transformers 5 toys, and we're also starting to work on Transformers 6.
So I was hearing in the panel yesterday in Combiner Wars, they were talking about wanting to respect the legacy of Transformers, but also to tell new stories. Is that kind of the focus of the Transformers Generations line?
It absolutely is. I think when you think about all the characters in Transformers, there is really a legacy. There's an emotional attachment to these characters, and bringing them to life in a new way is really something that we strive to do in the toy line. So when we look at like the Combiner Wars series or the Titans Return series, we're introducing an ecosystem of play that allows parents and their kids to come together, and I think we're seeing a whole new generation of fans come out, and it's really fantastic. It's all about taking the DNA of the character that works and then kind of advancing it to the next level. And we try to do that in toy but also in storytelling.
So how is the decision made for which characters are going to get the Generations treatment? Like, there's so many fan favorites, people are always going to be yelling, oh, this one, that one. How is that decision made?
Well, we usually have a big strategic meeting ahead of time. Like the development process takes about a year, and I like to try to figure out the entire year in advance so that if it's I think a lot of it has to do with the play system. So if it's like Titans Return, a lot of it is, it's a throwback to the Headmasters era, the late 80s. So we look at the characters from a pop culture standpoint that really have relevance and kind of fit the pieces of the puzzle together. And then also we listen to the fans. We come to events like San Diego Comic-Con and we kind of get the impression of like, if everybody wants a certain character, then we're like, wow, this character must be, hot, and we have to do something with that. And then, lastly, we look at the storytelling. So if there's a character that's like a big deal in the story, we try to take advantage of that and really bring it to life in toy. Because we really see storytelling in toy as almost a single entity.
So a lot of these designs go hand in hand with the current IDW Transformers comic as well, right?
That's true. We're inspired by that. I would say that it plays in the same universe. But there's some characters that we bring back that were maybe featured in toy. The upgraded look on some of the characters were certainly inspired by the IDW universe. And then a character like Ultra Magnus is a good example from last year. Has features about him that really harken to that IDW universe. We know how popular that universe is, and I think that our fans really expect like an added level of detail in the toy, but also that kind of depth of storytelling that you get out of like the different series by IDW. It's great.
So I'm going to assume that you were a big Transformers fan growing up. Is this kind of your dream job? Or?
It absolutely is. Yeah, it's living the dream. It's great. I was a big fan of a lot of different things from the 80s, like G.I. Joe, Transformers, and when I was a kid, I used to always say, well, I'd like to either work at Kenner or Hasbro, and now they're sort of together. So it's great. I've been working on Transformers for several years now, and every day's an adventure. It's fantastic.
So, personal question for me, I was drooling over the Soundwave figure over there.
Yeah.
Does he come with the tapes?
Well, he doesn't come with the tapes, but he's compatible with, we're calling them like data tablets. They're the Legends class figures, like your Ravage and Laserbeak and those guys, are able to fit into that chest cavity. That figure actually has the ability where you can kind of press down the shoulder, and it does pop the chest plate open, and there's sort of like it's a piece of his base that kind of has some little weapons on it, but when you take that out, you can put in a Legends class guy, so you can have all the fun of eject. When we were designing those guys, we knew that like having them be some sort of audio player was like really important to their personality, so I'm glad you appreciate that.
No, yeah, absolutely. He's my favorite, so I saw him the other day and I thought, oh, but I want to see the tapes.
I just love his voice, right?
That's why I always loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for talking with us today. We really appreciate you taking the time. So thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody.